International parity conditions. International parity conditions. International parity conditions. International parity conditions. International parity conditions currently refers to economic theories that explain how exchange rates should be determined based on underlying economic fundamentals. International parity conditions refers to economic theories that explain how foreign exchange rates should be determined based on underlying economic fundamentals. So these are theories, candidates. Conditions, theories. So first of all, they are economic theories. International parity conditions are economic theories. And what are these theories all about? These theories explain how foreign exchange rates should be determined based on economic fundamentals. International parity conditions are economic theories that explain how foreign exchange rates should be determined based economic fundamentals or basics. And candidates, these theories, the economic theories, one of the assumptions of these economic theories is that markets are efficient. The theories assume that markets are efficient and that there are no barriers to trade or capital flows. There are no barriers. So we will not get into much of the theories. We first of all have to understand the concept of international parity conditions. And even before we dig deeper, this word parity is derived from the word par, at par, par. When you say, I am at par with you, parity means equal or sameness. Parity refers to equality or sameness. And in economics, it often refers to a state of balance, a state of equilibrium between two things. Parity. So, in the context of foreign exchange rates, examples could be the purchasing power parity. parity, first of all, I'm saying refers to, generally speaking, to equality or sameness. We are now at par. It is a state of equilibrium, sameness. And I've said in economics it refers to a state of balance or equilibrium. For example, you may have an example in economics, the PPP, purchasing power parity. These I know you covered in economics at the lower level, their foundation level. You know what purchasing power parity is all about. It refers to the idea that exchange rates should adjust to equalize the purchasing power of currencies in different countries. Exchange rates, PPP, refers to the idea that exchange rates should adjust to equalize. Should adjust to do what? To equalize the purchasing power of currencies in different countries. Should do what? Should adjust to equalize. Equality, sameness, that's the key word. I'm giving examples of application of parity in economics. You have the PPP. You may also have the interest rate parity. Interest rate parity. Interest rate parity refers to the idea that interest rate differentials between countries. Interest rate differentials between countries. In our illustration, recall the interest rate in US was 2%, the one in UK 4%. So the interest rate parity refers to the idea that interest rate differentials between two countries should be equal to express the change in the foreign currency rates. You understand? If interest rates in countries are different, that's what we are calling interest rate differentials. So we're saying here that the differentials, the interest rates between the countries should be equal to the expected change in the foreign exchange rates. Should be equal. That does not mean that that is always the case. Because in countries we are studying international parity conditions. And we've said that conditions are economic theories that explain how foreign exchange rate should be. Should be. So the interest rate parity tells us that this theory, the differences in interest rates between countries should what? Should be equal to the expected change in the exchange rates. So if the difference is 2% between the difference, the interest rate differential in interest rate is the difference is 2%, like was the case in our earlier illustration, then the difference in according to this theory in foreign exchange rates should be 2 also. So that then is a state of equilibrium. We may even have what we call tax parity. Tax parity. Now, tax parity, on the other hand, refers to the idea that taxpayers in different jurisdictions should face similar tax burden. Should face the same similar tax burden. That is the idea behind tax parity. So I'm giving these examples, candidates, to help you understand, first of all, the concept. International parity conditions. These ones are theories that explain how foreign exchange rates. These are related to just foreign exchange rates. How foreign exchange rates should be determined based on economic fundamentals. We understand, like the forces of demand and supply and all that. So the syllabus requires us to look at which parities. We have international rate parity, interest rate parity, interest rate parity. Then we have purchasing power, interest rate parity, purchasing power parity, international Fisher effect, purchasing power. Do you have illustrations? Let's just get into it. Purchasing power parity. I just explained it, did I? Purchasing power parity. I just explained it. I just said it is a theory in economics that states that exchange rates should adjust to equalize the purchasing power. In other words, the price of a basket of goods and services in different countries. That's the purchasing power. In other words, using other words, candidates, the PPP, the purchasing power parity, suggests that the price of a good in one country should be the same as the price of the same good in another. Purchasing power. That is the case when converted to a common currency using the exchange rate. I think that is straightforward, is it not? It suggests that the price of a good in one country should be the same as the price of the same good in another country when converted to a common currency using the foreign exchange rate. That's the meaning of purchasing power parity. Okay? Purchasing power parity. What else do we need to explain? How does it work? How does it work? I talked about baskets of goods. How does it work? One, there is the idea of, let's use, the last definition I use one good, but we can also have a basket. Basket of goods. And we all know, candidates, we always use a basket of goods when computing the consumer price index. So a representative bucket of goods and services, a basket. A basket. So there are goods inside here, including airtime. Okay? A representative basket of goods or services is selected that is common or commonly consumed. These are goods that are commonly consumed in both countries. And the basket should include a variety of goods and services such as food, such as housing, airtime, transportation, healthcare, and so on. So we have two baskets of similar goods inside here that are commonly consumed in these countries. We have country A and country B baskets. So the price of each item in the basket are determined in both countries. Prices are then determined. Let's not make it complicated, let's simplify it. So first there is a basket. There's a bucket for goods in country A. So the same goods in this bucket are the same goods in the other bucket for country B. Then the prices of each item in the basket are determined in both countries. After that, there is the exchange rate calculation. That means that the exchange rate between the two currencies is calculated based on the ratio of the prices of the baskets in each country. So just 3 steps. There is an exchange rate calculation. Step number 3 is to do the calculation of the exchange rate. And how does that happen? The exchange rate between the two currencies, that is currency A and currency B, is calculated based on the ratio of the prices of the baskets in each country. So we will have the price of 2 kilograms of unga there in Uganda. The other one is in Ecuador. Okay, so the prices are computed. Then we do exchange rate calculation. You understand? Now let's take an illustration, a simple one. Let's use US dollar and the euro. We can take an example of, say, basket of goods in the US is, say, $100. $100. If a basket of goods in US is 100 US dollars, and the same basket is 80 euros in the Eurozone. So based on those prices, then the exchange rate should be 1 US dollar being equal to 0.8 euros. You get the point. So let's use that example. So this is US, country is US, and this is the Eurozone. Europe. So the price of the goods in this basket is 100 US dollars. Okay, 100 US dollars. What was the illustration again? How about the prices in Eurozone? The prices in Eurozone is 80 euros. 80. This one is 80. So this is the price of all the goods in this basket calculated using the US dollar, one currency. Then the same goods in this bucket, the price is 80 euros, the Eurozone. So based on this purchasing power, then the exchange rate should be 100 USD should be equal to 80 euros. Do you see that? That ratio. Remember what we said about exchange rate calculation. The exchange rate in step number 3, the exchange rate between the two countries is calculated based on the ratio of the prices. So the exchange rate of these two countries should then be, should, according to the PPP, according to the purchasing power parity, should be based on this ratio. Should be based on this ratio. 100 USD dollars is equivalent to 80 euros. Do you understand, candidates? Can it be okay? 100 USD dollars, this ratio. And you can even simplify it further. Divide this by 100, divide that by 100, so that you have 1 USD being equal to 0.8 euros. This ratio is a basis for exchange rate. So this exchange rate is based on the purchasing power. It is based on the purchasing power of these two countries. You understand? So we are saying here should be. This may not be the case in reality. So this is just an exchange rate based on PPP. It is a theory. This does not mean that that is the exchange rate in practice. It's just a theory. And we have assumptions we use to develop this theory. So in our case here, based on the purchasing power of these countries, the exchange rate is 1 USD is equal to 0.8 euros. That is a theory. In practice, it may be different. And therefore, candidates, if the actual exchange rate is different from the implied exchange rate, this is the implied exchange rate. If the actual exchange rate is different from the implied PPP exchange rate, it may suggest that one currency is overvalued or undervalued relative to the other. Please note that. If the actual exchange rate is different from the implied, this is the conclusion. If the actual foreign exchange rate is different from the implied PPP exchange rate, it may suggest that either one currency is overvalued or undervalued relative to the other. Relative to the other currency. You get a point. Please get the point. Get the point. Purchasing power parity. Are we clear on purchasing power parity? In economics, that states that exchange rates should adjust to equalize. Exchange rates should adjust to equalize the price of baskets of goods or services in different countries. Should adjust to equalize. Prices should adjust to equalize. Exchange rates should adjust to equalize the price of baskets. This is the price of baskets. So if the exchange rates are not $1 to 0.8 US euros, if that's not the case, then this theory states that the actual exchange rate should adjust to be at par. Parity should be at par, should be to a position of equilibrium where the two are the same. Otherwise, the currencies are overvalued. One currency is overvalued or undervalued relative to the other. For taking time to attend our sessions. God bless you. Bye-bye.